The following has been brought to you by RockSolidFanClub.ca. The law.
So, Bradie, let me ask you this question right here.
Mm-hmm.
If you are the GOAT in the sport that you play in, do you not deserve to have privileges up and beyond what everybody else has? Does Tom Brady have extra special privileges?
I feel like that's a trick question.
Does John Jones have extra special privileges?
Oh, fuck, John Jones has extra special. Yes, at every gay club across North America.
Okay, so if you're the GOAT, right, then you deserve those things. Now, I think one thing that we forget is that everybody thinks that in the world of boxing, Canelo Alvarez is the GOAT.
He's not.
He's not anymore.
He's not the GOAT, man.
I present to you Terrence Bud Crawford. This dude is very quickly becoming the GOAT, except for one problem that I have.
What's the problem, sir?
It's the same thing that I said when Canelo went up in weight. There's a weight classes and there's divisions for a reason. Now, did Terrence Crawford win his last fight against Israel Madrimov? Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely he did. I had that fight 116, 112 by the time it was all said and done. And that was what it was. There's no doubt about it. I'm a genius, and that's how I scored it.
That was the actual scoring, though, for one judge, wasn't it?
Yes, for one or two of them. Anyways.
Why are you so smart? Oh, because you watched the fight.
Yeah, because I watched the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And actually watched the fight. And I don't listen to the commentating. I watched the fight.
You told me on the weekend that you had watched, when you were watching SummerSlam, that you had found a Spanish version on your TV, and that's what you ended up watching was the Spanish version because it's 100%. So much better than the English version.
100%. 100%, because I know enough Spanish where I can pick up a couple of things here and there, but I'm not being inundated with what they want me to hear, because everybody knows that the announcing is a big part of watching sports. There's no doubt about it, and boxing as well. So when I watched this fight and I watched it, that's what I scored at 116 to 112.
Okay.
However, a lot of those rounds that I gave to Terrence Crawford could have very easily gone the other way, because
a lot of them were draws.
Madrimov was a busy dude for a guy who is a weight class up, right? A guy who is a weight class up. Terrence Crawford moving up in weight from up to what did he end up winning, the light middleweight championship? He was already the welterweight champion.
It's almost impossible to keep track of these fucking titles, man.
Well, they make a new belt every single time.
They make a new weight class every weekend too. It seems like it's getting out of control.
The WBC hands out belts. I'm pretty sure you can buy a WBC belt in Walmart, and it'll be an actual WBC belt.
I'm a champion. I didn't even know it.
Oh, I tell you, you're a champion all the time, Bradie. Come on now.
Makes me feel all warm and sad. All right, so Terrence Bud Crawford, he put on an extra 6 pounds for this fight, and I think I know what you're saying, because it's the same kind of vibe that we had when Canelo was doing this, and when anybody does this, coming from a smaller weight class too. Terrence is a fantastic performer.
Well, he is now
the power doesn't translate.
He's the first time 4 weight class champion.
Mm-hmm.
This is his thing, right? And you're exactly right. The power does not translate so well, because you're talking about a guy who cuts weight to stay in the weight class, not puts on weight to get up to that next one. And he's still talking about how he wants to do this fight against Canelo Alvarez. I mean, listen, I'm all for it, but I think it might be a little late. And I don't know if Canelo Alvarez, is going to want to do that fight.
Canelo's out there trying to get that 200 mil so he doesn't have to fight Jake Paul to get it. Because that's the only other way that he's going to get anywhere near close to $200 million is if he commits to a year-long promo feud and fight with a guy like Jake Paul.
Do you think, okay, let's ask that question. Do you think that because all of these other promoters, like the Eddie Hearns of the world, you know what I mean, are going to balk at that 200 million, Do you think Jake Paul figures out a way to raise it?
I think Jake Paul already has it if they want it.
I think that's a little aggressive to just.
No, I don't mean like in his back pocket. I mean like there's enough avenues around him with money right now that they could put that deal together in a weekend. But here's the problem with fighting Canelo, and we've said this before, and I know that you've been a huge proponent about this. It's better off for Jake, if he wants to enter this world, to just go fight Usyk. Because fighting smaller fighters doesn't do you anything. Even if you were to sleep Canelo right now, let's say Canelo is the GOAT. Let's say Bud Crawford's. If you fight either one of those guys, they're nowhere near your size. If you sleep them, you're still leaving open-ended conversations out there. Go fight Usyk. And then we'll talk after that.
We're talking about guys that you can see a considerable difference in 6 pounds. Not 60 pounds.
It's so crazy that I'm in my head right now. I'm being serious when I say Jake Paul should just be fighting Usyk. This shouldn't even be a fucking conversation, but somehow this is the world that we live in now, where Sean Strickland is dominant on your Twitter feed.
If we were to sit there and put Jake Paul in with any other kind of heavyweights, right? There was some that fought just this past weekend on the undercard for that Terrence Crawford fight. You know what I mean? Andy Ruiz made his return. Right? Could fight him? No? Big baby Jarrell Miller? You think he could fight him?
Wow, I did not think I was going to giggle at any point throughout this show for how pissed off I am in the background. But holy crap, dude, that is the funniest fight poster I've ever seen in my life in my head.
You see what I'm saying? You know, and the best part about that whole thing was that there was big baby Jarrell Miller, and then there was the real big baby, I forget it is Anderson. You know, so you had big baby and the real big baby out there, and the real big baby got sent into the first row by a dude who punches like George Foreman.
You know,
unbelievable.
That's my last Andy Ruiz fight.
These are the guys that Jake Paul should be fighting.
But that's my last time watching Andy Ruiz. You brought him up. Now I got to talk about it. I ain't doing it anymore. I know he broke his hand, so that very well could have affected the fight. I went into that fight so stoked. Mm-hmm. I really I thought we were going to see Andy make his comeback. They worked me. They worked me in the promo. They worked me on the week up. They worked me. I even sat down and watched that fucking half an hour interview with him.
Okay.
And he comes out and he's still more worried about keeping his pants around his waist than he is.
Bro, Andy Ruiz is the only boxer I know who actually has negative ass.
Dude, he's Hank Hill.
He has negative ass, dude.
Yeah. I thought Tyson Fury had trouble with his pants, but holy fuck, Andy. Bro. That took him out of the fight, dude.
And you know, the other part that I love when I watch boxing, especially heavyweights, is how small their legs are. It's kind of silly. It's kind of silly.
Andy, you did your best Ronda Rousey impression, and stay off your gimmick. Stay off your gears.
That fight with Terrence Crawford, listen, he deserves everything that he gets going forward. And if he
Terrence is awesome.
If he wants to move up another weight class, go ahead. Go right ahead, brother. Get you some.
When does he stop? When does he stop? What weight class?
Canelo. And here's the reason why, because Canelo has put himself into a position where he is the name, he is the brand of boxing right now, close enough for him to get that kind of notoriety, because the only other guy is Floyd Mayweather, and Mayweather is off fighting YouTubers and fucking fighting Gotti again in a rematch. Are we in Mexico of all friggin' places?
Yo, Mayweather, I thought you said you were going to fight Dylan Dennis. What's going on? Just fucking fight Dylan Dennis.
You might as well at this point, because this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you're going to end up fighting both Paul brothers. I'm telling you right now. Wow, wait a second. Could we honestly see Jake Paul and maybe Floyd Mayweather does the jump in for Mike Tyson when that doesn't happen?
RockSolidFanClub.ca gives you full access to Canada's leader in professional wrestling, featuring legends like Mick Foley, modern megastars such as Cody Deaner, and future sensations like Tyler Turva. RockSolidFanClub.ca offers exclusive series, podcasts, live streams, specials, and full events, all for less than $9 a month. Sign up today at RockSolidFanClub.ca, where real fans get it.